Hi everyone, my name is Akorede Adenike. You are welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time of you checking on my channel, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell for you to be notified each time I upload new video. In this tutorial today, I would like to teach you how to cut and sew this beautiful dress with collar. And as for the down part of it, there is going to be two box pleated on the front of it, and on the back too there is going to be two box pleated. So let's move into it. Now this is the Ankara fabric that I'm using for the tutorial today, and I'm making use of this plain material for my collar. So I'm cutting the upper part first. I'll now use the biggest part of the upper parts to fold out my fabric, and the biggest part of the upper part, which is the bust, is 38 divided by 4 is 9.5 plus half inch is, that will give me 10 inches. I'm going to add 1 hinge for that and 1 hinge for sewing allowance because I'm not adding lining to it. So let me quickly fold that 12 inches out. 12 inches out. Is it folded into two. This is the front part of it, and this is the back part. This is my zipper allowance, which is 1.5. So this is my zipper allowance, the back part of it, of the upper part, and the front part of it. And from my shoulder here, this place indicates my shoulder line. From the shoulder down to my waist, it's 16 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance. That is 17 inches here. So on my shoulder line here, I'm going to input half of my shoulder. My shoulder is 15 inches divided by 2 is 7.5 plus half inch seam allowance. That will give me 8 inches. And from my shoulder to my chest line, to get my chest line is half of my round armhole, and my round armhole is 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. Here is it here. From my shoulder to my bust point is 10 inches plus half inch seam allowance that I'm going to use to join the shoulder. That will give me 10.5. From my shoulder to my under bust is 13.5 plus half inch seam allowance, 14 inches. And from my shoulder to my waist is 16 inches. Here is it here. Plus 1 inch seam allowance. I'm going to use half inch to join the waist here with the down part, and I'm going to use 1/2 inch to join the shoulder together. That's just it. Let me extend the lines. So this is my chest line, my bust point line, my under bust line, and my waist line. So on my chest line, I'm going to input half of my shoulder, which is 7.5 plus half inch seam allowance. That gives me 8 inches. I'm going to connect it for my armhole cuff. That's just it. So from the center front here, I'm going to measure my neck width, which is 3 inches. As you know, the collar I'm making, the neck of this dress is choke, and that collar is going to be choked to it. So I'm measuring 3 inches for my neck width. I'm going to measure 3 inches as well for my neck depth for the front. So I'm going to connect it with my free hand like this, round like this. This is for my front. So my neck depth for the back will be 1.5. Use it here. I'm going to connect it with my free hand as well. That's just it. And from my shoulder now, from here, I'm going to measure ½ inch downward for my shoulder slope. Connect it slantly to the neckline. So to get my armhole now, I'll first of all place 1/4 of my bust on my chest line, and my bust is 38. divided by 4 is 9.5 plus half inch is, that'll give me 10 inches. Here is it here. So I will now connect like this. This is for my back armhole. So to get my front armhole, I'm going to measure what is here. What is here now is 8 inches. I'm going to find the middle of it. Here is it here. And I'm going to come in here. From here, I'm going to come in by 0.75. So I'll easily connect from here slantly down to this place now. And to complete it, I'm going to place my pattern master like this and curve it out easily like this. That's just it for the armhole. On my chest line, I'm going to input quarter of my bust. I've already inputted it and I'm going to add seam allowance to it later. So here now, I'm going to input quarter of my bust on my bust point line. The quarter of my bust is 9.5 plus half inch is, here's it here. And on my under bust, I'm going to input quarter of my under bust, which is 30. My under bust is 32 divided by 4. That will give me 8 inches plus 1 inch dart. Here's it here. On my waistline here, I'm going to input quarter of my waist. My waist is 34 divided by 4. That will give me 8.5 plus 1 inch dart. That will give me 9.5. Here's it here. So I'll now connect it with my, that's just it, and I'm going to add my 1 inch seam allowance to it. Since I'm not adding the lining to it, I have to cut the facing for it. So this is the fabric I'm using for the facing. I'll fold it into two like this. I'm cutting the front part facing first. So I'll place it on it like this and mark it out like this. So I'll now shape it out just like this. This is for my front part. I'm going to cut it out. This is for this. And as for the back part, I'm going to fold another fabric as well and make use of this part for the back part. So I'll place it like this as well. I'm going to mark it out. So I'm going to shape it here like this. This is for the back part, and I'm going to make it 2. So there is it, the back part. Let me mark on this because I'm marking on the wrong side. I let the right side face each other. Then mark on this as well for me not to make a mistake. And this is the front part of it. I'm marking on the wrong side for me to know where the wrong side is. This is the wrong side of this one as well. So let me complete my front part before cutting the down part. I'll now go ahead and continue sewing. This is the facing for the front part of it, and here is the wrong side of it. I'll now go ahead and notch the down part of the facing round like this. I'll notch it a little bit round like this. I'm going to notch it round because I'm going to hem it, fold it once like this, and run a stitch on it all through from here to this place. So after running a stitch on it like that, I'll now place it on my front. I'm going to place it on the wrong side of it. You know, I'm adding collar to it, so I'll place it on the wrong side of it and stitch with 1/4 of an inch, not half inch, 1/4 of an inch, since I'm adding the collar on it later. So as for the back, I'm going to do the same thing, the same process. Now I finished attaching the facing to it. This is the front part and these are the back part of it. So I finished attaching it by adding my dart to it. This is the front and this is the back. So I'm going to place my front on the back to get my dart easily. So from my shoulder here, since my bust point from the shoulder is 10 inches plus half inch seam allowance, I'll just easily add 2 inches to it. That will make it 12.5, which is here for the front dart. So my nipple to nipple is 7 inches divided by 2 is 3.5 plus half inch seam allowance. That will make it 4 inches. There is it. And on the waist too, I'm going to input that 4 inches. I'm going to connect it like this. So to get it on the second part of the front, I'll just hold it like this and dot it out. Dot it out here too. So on the back part, I'll just measure from my shoulder, my chest line, which is 8.5, is here for the back part. And from that line, from this line now, I'm going to measure 1 inch downward. So from here now, I'm going to measure that 4 inches for my nipple to nipple measurement plus half inch seam allowance. So on the waistline too, I'm going to measure that 4 inches out as well. I'm going to connect it. To let it reflect on the second part of the back, I'm going to hold it like this and dot it out. The waistline to hold it like this and dot it out. That's just it on how to mark it out on the back and the front. So I'll now go ahead and sew it by folding like this, stitch from here down to this place. Or you can easily, if you are a beginner, you can easily start your stitching from the waistline. Make sure you measure half inch out and stitch it slantly to this place, to this point. So I'm going to do the same thing on the second part of the back. And as for the front, going to split it like this, open it up like this, connect the dot you make on the second side of it, connect it like this, and fold just like this. Stitch from here slanted down to the waist. Just make sure you get ½ inch on your waist line here, but make sure this place is slant a little bit to meet the waist. So you do the same thing on the second side of the front. Stitch from here. Now I'm done with the dart. This is the front part. Here's the dart for the front part, and here's the back, the dart for it. So I'll now move on to the down part of it. Now to get my down part, I'm going to use the biggest part of the down part to fold out my fabric for the down part, and the biggest part for the down part is hip, which is 42 divided by 4 will give me 10.5. Since there is 2 pleats at the front of the down part and 2 pleats at the back of the down part, I'm going to add 8 inches for that pleat. So 8 inches plus 10.5, that will give me 18.5, plus 1 inch seam allowance, that will give me 19.5. Here is it. Here is for the front and here is for the back. The remaining allowance here is for the zipper allowance, because this is the back. I folded it into 2 with my zipper allowance here, and this is for the front. I folded it into 2 as well. So this is 19.5 now. So from here now, this will be my waistline. This will be my waistline. I'm going to measure the remaining. So to get the remaining length for the down part, I'm going to deduct the 16 inches that I used for the upper part from the full length of my dress. And the full length of my dress is 44 minus 16 inches. That'll give me 28 inches. So from the waist here, now I'm going to measure that 29.5. 1 inch for hemming of the bottom of the dress and ½ inch for joining the waist. So that's just it. Going to connect it and cut it off. So I've cut it out. This is for the front part and this is the back part. So this is my zipper allowance. So I'll now go ahead to get that pleat now. So this is the crucial area of the down part. So from the center front now, I'm going to measure 3.5. You know, I said my nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches divided by 2 is 3.5. So there is no need for me to add any seam allowance on this place now, because it is pleating that I'm making. So 3.5 all through. So I'm going to connect it. So that is it for that. Let me make it visible very well. That's just it. So from this line now, I'll measure that 8 inches that I added for my pleat. Eight inches. And 8 inches. I'm going to connect it as well. Now I'll make sure I notch here to make it reflect on the other part of it, of the down part. Notch it very well, please. Going to notch this one too. Make sure it's notched very well. And this down part too, I'm going to notch it. So to create my pleat now, since I've already marked that 8 inches out and I've notched it to reflect on the other part of it, so I'll just open it up like this. This is the front part. Let me put the back part aside. I'll just fold it like this. Let the notch meet. Let the notch align on each other like this. Is it? Let it align on each other like this, and make sure it align on the down part as well. And I'm going to run a stitch from here down to this. Before running a stitch, I'm going to measure from the waist here. I'm going to measure 18.5 to get my knee length, because I'm going to make a back stitch on this place before running a stitch till the bottom of it. Here now, normal stitch from here down to this place. When I get here, I'm going to make a back stitch, and from here now I'm going to make a gather stitch for me to lose it easily when I want to lose it. So I'm going to do the same thing on this second part too. Fold it and let the notch align on each other. So I'm going to fold it like this. This is the first notch and this is the second notch. I'll just fold it easily like this and make the same thing. To measure that 18 inches, 18.5, sorry. So here now, I'm going to back stitch on this place, normal stitch from here down to this place, back stitch here, then gathers till the down part of it. I'm going to do the same thing on the back part of it. Fold, let the notching align on each other, then run a stitch. So when I finish, now I'm done with the stitch. This is what I get. Here's it. Here's the first 8 inches and here's the second one. Now to get my pleat easily now, I will now notch the center here. I'm going to notch the center here, and at the waistline too, I'm going to notch it. So I'll now make it, I'll let it be like this. I'll flat it. So let the notch meet with the center, just like this. I'm going to flat it like this. This one too, I'm going to flat it like this, and let the notch that I make on the center here, I'll let it meet with this notch that I've already made on the waist here. So I'll now iron it like this. I'm going to flat it and iron it out just like this. So here's it. I'm going to do the same process on the back part too. Here's the back. I've already run the stitch on the back too. So I'm going to, now I'm done with the ironing. This is the back part of it. Look how neat and beautiful it is. And this is the front. I've ironed it as well. Look how neat and beautiful it is. So I'll now fold my back into two. I'll cut it into two because of the zipper. So this is my zipper allowance. I'm cutting it into two. So I'll now go ahead and join it to my upper part by letting the right side face each other like this and stitch with 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same thing on the second part of the back. Place it on each other, let the right side face each other and stitch with 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same thing on the front part of it. open it like this, place the upper part on it, let the right side face each other and stitch with half inch. I've finished joining it. This is the back part, which is 2 pieces, and this is the front part, which is 1 piece. I'm going to place it on each other like this to shape my side out. So I will now measure from the shoulder. I'm going to measure my hip line. This is my zipper allowance. So I'm going to measure from the shoulder. I'm going to measure 23.5 inches. That half inch, I'm going to use it to join the shoulder, and this is where my 23.5 inches is. I will now join it with my free hand. I'm going to shape it out like this with my free hand before cutting. So I will now cut it out like this to give it a nice shape, as you can see. So I will now run a stitch on the zipper allowance at the back here. I've run a stitch on the zipper allowance, and I'm going to open it up like this and place my front on it. Let the right side face each other. I'll now go ahead and stitch my shoulder with half inch. And again, I'm going to stitch my side seam, which is 1 inch from the armpit down till the bottom of the dress. I've joined my shoulder with half inch and I've run a stitch on my side seam. I'll now go ahead and turn it to the right side. Now I've turned it to the right side. I'll now go ahead and loose the gather stitch that I made on the bottom to form the pleat. I'm going to lose it out now. Finish losing it. Look how neat and beautiful it is. This is my above the knee length from my shoulder. This is the back part of it. 2 pleat, box pleat at the back too. So I'll now go ahead and hem the bottom with 1 inch. After hemming the bottom with 1 inch, I'll move on to the back and add my zipper to it before cutting the collar for the neckline. Now I've finished hemming the bottom with 1 inch. As you can see, it's very nice and beautiful. So, and I've added zipper to it. Here's it. This is the back part of it. As you can see, it's very nice and beautiful. So I'll now go ahead and cut the collar for the neckline. So I'm going to measure. This is my neckline. I'm going to fold it like this and measure what is here. What I have here now is 10 inches. So this is the fabric for my collar. I have 2 pieces here. Is it 8 inches in length, and the width of it is 16 inches. So I'll go ahead and let the right side of it face each other and fold into 2 again like this. I'll now fold it again like this. That is now into 4. So this is the folded edge. I'm going to here now. I'm going to measure from here, from the center here. I'm going to measure that 10 inches. I'm going to divide it by 2. That'll give me 5 inches plus half inch seam allowance. That is 5.5. There is it here. I'll now connect it like this to form a slant. I'm going to connect like this. So here now, I'm going to measure half inch from this place. I'm going to measure half inch upward. I'll now connect it to create a little curve here now. That is where I'm going to join to my neckline. So I'm going to cut it out. So that's just it. I'll now open it up like this. As you can see, this is the effect of that ½ inch. So I'll now cut into 2 here. Going to cut it here like this. So this is for the one part and this is for the second part. I'm going to mark on the wrong side for me to recognize it. So that's it. I'll take one out of this one. Make sure I iron the interface into it to make it a little bit thicker, and take one out of this one too, iron interface into it. So I'll now go ahead and place it on each other. I'll let the right side face each other like this and run a stitch ½ inch here, both sides, and ½ inch here. So I'll do the same thing on the second side, using the tip of my scissors to bring out the angle. So I'm going to give it nice press before joining it to the dress. I'm done with the collar. I'll now attach it to the dress. So here's my dress, and here is the front of it. I'll fold it like this. I'm going to chalk it for me to get the center, just like this. This is the center of my dress on the wrong side. So I'll now let where the interfacing is, I'll let it face it like this and pin it down all through. Till I reach the back, just like this. So I'm going to pin the second one too on the second side of it. I'm going to run ½ inch stitch on it all around. I've finished attaching the collar to the dress. I'll now turn it to the right side for you to see. So this is it. I'll now give it nice press. But before that, I'm going to attach my sleeve to it. This is the sleeve I'm attaching to it. I'm attaching the basic sleeve to it. I have a video on how to cut it out. I'm going to put the link in the box below. So this is my sleeve now. The bottom of my sleeve, I'll just fold it in like this with one hinge and hem it. I'm going to do the same thing on this one too. I'll fold it in to the wrong side and hem it with 1 inch. So when I finish hemming the bottom, I'll just let the right side face each other like this and stitch the side seam before attaching it to the main dress like this. I'll just attach it like this. Now I'm through with the dress. Look how neat and beautiful it is. I've attached the sleeve, I've ironed it, and here is the bottom part of it. This is the pleat for the front, 2 pleats on the front and 2 pleats on the back part of it. So guys, if my tutorial has been helpful to you in any way, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel to support my channel. If you have any question pertaining to cutting and sewing, you can join me on my Facebook group, Details to Sewing, created by Akorede Adenike. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Akorede Adenike. Till I see you in my next video, guys, stay blessed. Bye bye.